Ayuk right, they motion McCaffrey, backwards pass to McCaffrey, and he's going to throw downfield wide open. Brandon Ayuk, touchdown! San Francisco! He can run, he can catch,
getting on fire!
Christian McCaffrey can throw! Schultz to the other, going to throw out left, intercepted! Diamador Lenore!
Wow,
Dak
what a
Prescott
play!
just threw him the ball on the outcut going left to CeeDee Lamb. Diamador Lenore comes up with the game's first big play. Here's Prescott back, has time, throws out left, intercepted. Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner. Jimmy Ward tipped the ball, and Fred Warner with the INT. They're going to give it to McCaffrey coming left. McCaffrey, touchdown! San Francisco! He has thrown one, he has caught one, he has run one.
Hey,
Breezy, greedy, this that nine
Mo's nose. Peachy, fair to gone. It's about that time, everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's nose, Peachy, Breezy, and fair to gone. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you nine to tone. We two gorilla, silverback, nah, silver
You know it's
hoes.
busting good discussion cause we get it in. Every time you know we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win. The faithful going hard. It's Wayne, Breezy, Peachy, Mo's nose, and fear to God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. We outline players up in chalk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Line is tall. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall.
What's going on? The Nitty Gritty Niners Talk is in the building. Hey, 49ers has just advanced to Super Bowl 58 to take on in a rematch situation the Kansas City Chiefs. Peachy, how you feeling? Because this game was a little, you had bubble guts the whole
I have to say this though, like before we even get started, like I gotta give my props to Mr. Wayne Breezy here, because let me tell you something, and I'm glad that a lot of the faithful on Twitter are giving him props as well. He said that the defense would make adjustments in the second half. He said, "Don't worry about it," because it got intense. It really, really got intense, and Breezy was really the cool head through the whole game. Was trying to keep his cool, especially when it came to the defensive side of the football. He said that Wilkes would make adjustments, and shout out to everyone who's given my guy Breezy props on Twitter, because I really, really do appreciate that as well. I know he does too, but man, what a game.
Tough. It was tough, Peachy.
It was
tough. It was tough.
Woo.
Mose, you come in when you're ready, dog. It was tough. Cause I still couldn't answer the question of why we couldn't stop the run.
Yeah.
So it was missed tackles. It was like they were just missing tackles. Yeah. It was a bunch of big blue and silver body people just knocking 49er players out of position to make tackles. So I couldn't figure out, but I've never seen that. They gave up 140 plus rushing yards in the first half. Mose, what's going on, bro? How you feeling, man? Mose, good to see you, bro.
Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, man, it's a lot going on over here, but I'm glad to be back with the family. Glad to be back in a time like this. Honestly, the way this game started, that first half is how I've been feeling the past couple weeks, man. Crazy. But I was texting cousin Sid. Hopefully he might be in the chat a little bit later. And I said, this is either gonna be an embarrassing blowout, or it's going to be the greatest comeback we've ever seen. And it turned into the latter. And I'm excited for our team. We headed to Vegas. We got another opportunity to put our best foot forward, to put our best football on the field, and try to bring home another trophy.
That's it, man. Very well said. Let's read these super chats, and let's get to them as they come in. And I think everybody is probably still woed about what they said. I don't think anybody's gonna go back and rewatch this game. I think you take the victory and you move forward. I think what most said is what I think everybody is thinking. Well, we could try again against another team. Like I there's no way 3 games in a row the defense comes out flat like this, right? Because I like the way wait because I like Kansas City, and I think they're physical in their run, but they don't have the monsters of that dual threat running back. And Pacheco is great. He's young. He's amazing. But he never mind. I don't want to get myself too far up there because it's probably going to bully us too. All right, let's get to these super chats real quick. Fernando, Peachy, you got to read them because you got the better voice right now. My voice is almost gone.
I bet it is. Thank you, Fernando. Brock Purdy is the king of the NFC. That's our quarterback. Niners come back when it's going to be legendary. We're Super Bowl bound, baby. LFG, time to get 6. That's right.
Let's talk about Brock Purdy being king of the NFC, because that's what he is.
Yes.
There's no other kings.
That's
He's
right.
the king of the NFC.
That's right.
Peachy, you go first. Talk about your Brock. That sounds crazy, but talk about your Brock. Purdy.
Man, the resilience of this kid to be counted out like so many times by these pundits who were, all the stuff that was being said about him, couldn't do this, couldn't do that. Just crazy. The fact that he literally lost the MVP after Christmas night of the way that he performed against Baltimore, how, they said that that's when he lost it. And to watch Lamar, who is clearly, going to be the NFL MVP this year, to look like he did today, and then turn around and watch Brock and all the heroics that he put up today, and all the naysayers that were still, like when he threw a pick, they put all those things up saying, in situations, in NFC championship situations, usually like the team that has the or the offense that throws the interception, hardly ever wins, and whatever stats are putting up and all this stuff. And it's like all these things that they were doing and all the heroics that Brock did. And I'm so proud of this kid to go up against the number 1 pick whenever he was picked in Jared Goff, and this high-flying offense that Detroit has, and come out victorious. It was amazing. This kid's resilience is amazing. No matter how bad it looks, like I always say, it doesn't matter how you start, it matters how you finish. And we've literally had to do this in 2 games. We did this in the Packer game, and the 49ers aren't used to that. We're not used to having to, come from behind to do all these things when it comes to getting this far. That's normally not the way it goes. And the fact that they were able to do that in both games, and especially this game, coming back from such a huge deficit. They put up the stats about that, about how, rare it is for a team to come back down from a huge deficit, and for us to basically just flip, like the yards, flip first downs, everything in the second half compared to Detroit and what we left Detroit with. They're just so proud of Brock, like I said, for his resilience in this game.
Resilience was key for Brock Purdy and the 49ers because he needed people to step up and make plays. Mose, I'm going to let you answer the question as well. So what's your take on Brock Purdy other than resilience?
I think for me watching this game, one of the things that I loved, and I don't know, I would love to hear him talk about it. So I'm gonna catch the post game pressures to see if anybody asks him or if he mentions it. The thing that I loved watching this game is Brock didn't press, and I think we've seen him in other games, particularly that Ravens game, where he pressed, where he tried to do too much. He tried or forced trying to make things happen. Tonight, I saw him take what he was given and just make the play that needed to be made. He wasn't overthinking. He wasn't trying to force anything. He wasn't pressing. If the pass was there, he threw it. If the running lane was open, he ran it. And he looked poised while doing so. So the fact that he was able in this game on the big stage, NFC Championship with the Super Bowl on the line, for him to not force anything, for him to not press, but just take what's available, make the play that's there, live to fight another down. That was a really big thing for me to see, and I'm excited that he was able to do it on that stage.
Yeah, like I know from the last game he talked about, he was pressing a little bit. He didn't take the check downs. I saw a little pressing in this game. I saw a little bit of him trying to force the ball to like Brandon Ayuk a little too much when he could have probably he missed a wide open Kittle or whatever, but he still corrected himself. Like, and so like that's the growth that we're seeing, or the maturity, I guess that's a better word, that you're seeing from your quarterback, from our quarterback, right then and there. And, like he's just maturing like right as the game goes along. And that's got to be a great thing for us, but a scary thing for everybody else, because you're getting this from a 7th round draft pick that was supposed to go undrafted.
Yep.
I'm gonna talk about that because Peachy said that you just beat a first pick in the draft, first rounder. Well, you know what, Peachy? He beat 2 first rounders back to back. Jordan Love might not have been pick number 1, but he was a first-round pick by the Green Bay Packers, because I remember Aaron Rodgers being pissed the hell off that they drafted the quarterback and they give him a weapon, but that was a first-round pick as a quarterback. He just knocked 2 of them cats out in the same division. So not only is Brock Purdy the king of the NFC, he the king of the NFC North, even though he lost one to the Vikings, but he just knocked 2 guys out of the playoffs. That's real good for Brock. But what I got from Brock was just, just poise. Like didn't get flustered. Took 2 hard sacks late in the game and still found a way to kind of like be resilient, like Peachy said, and still found a way to not press, like Mose said. And so like him being poised in the pocket, those 2 big runs that he had in this game, where he decided to use his feet, is everything. I'm going to say this right now, and I think everybody is thinking the same mother freaking thing. But if the 49ers can upgrade their offensive line just a little bit, Brock Purdy is going to be the best quarterback in the NFL for years to come.
Hands down.
I did not realize how great of an offensive line the Detroit Lions had, because I can tell you right now, if Jared Goff was on this 49ers offensive line, he'd be the worst quarterback in the NFL. Like, hands down. He wouldn't be good. A lot of these quarterbacks wouldn't be good. And we haven't, and that's why I get so upset at the NFL pundits out there, those former players that play the game. How can you can't see that this kid is playing with something a little different? Like, he's playing, he might not have all the measurables or all the athleticism. I bet you can't say he's not athletic now. He outran every quarterback this week in the playoffs. He outran Patrick Mahomes, outran Lamar Jackson. Brock Purdy out MVP'd the MVPs.
Right.
And found a way to win this game.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, so that burns, that ruffles my feathers a lot. And I didn't say much about the Ryan Clarks or the Keyshawn Johnsons that said, oh yeah, he didn't come back for more than 5-point deficit. It was only a 4-point deficit. What? Well, he did it today. It was 24, 27 points last time I checked. It was a lot of points.
It was amazing. And let's add another adjective, elusive, because he literally had that one where he should have been sacked and he weaseled his way out of that sack.
Oh, and got to throw the
kept
juice?
play alive and got it to, yes.
A dart. That was a dart.
Yes.
Shout out to Juice with the tiptoe. I didn't know Juice had the tiptoe drag swag. Shout out to Juice Check with the toe drag swag.
Oh, it was awesome.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was straight up beautiful. Let's read these super chats. VZ408, we'll just rotate them before my voice go. We, the #1 team, because we balling.
Nice.
Well said. Mose, you take this one.
Appreciate you, Delvin Thomas, for the donation. 49er faithful, stand up.
Should stand up. You should stand up. Because I know for this whole game, your asses was sitting down. I know I was sitting down. But I'm glad. We should be standing up. We should be celebrating this team because they just overcame a mountain. A mountain. How crazy is it in church this morning? I sung that song, For Every Mountain. And then the 49ers had to climb the mountain and get over the mountain, and they got the victory. Woo! Woo! Team is crazy. Green glass full says, love to you, Wayne, and the faithful. What a game. Yeah, man, thank you for the contribution. It definitely was a game. Peachy said it when she got on here. Says it was a game for the ages, man. I see somebody in the chat said that they earn like 30 years. They age 30 years.
40 years. That's what I said. I said 40 years.
I think I got about 57,484 more gray hair.
Oh, goodness.
You know, does anyone? I don't eat during the game. I have to eat before the game or after the game. Did anybody eat during the game? Because I was too messed up to eat. No,
I was eating during the Chiefs and Ravens game.
Right, right. That's my
dinner.
superstition, right? So, and you guys have been to the games with me. I don't eat at the games, right? I don't order food. I don't drink nothing.
No concessions.
I don't go to the bathroom.
Everything is before.
Everything is before. I never thought if I had a little superstitions, but that's for me, man. I don't do it. Peachy, you can take this one.
Master Any Craft, thank you so much. Purdy put the team on his back. Quest for 6, baby.
First of all, the avatar is fire because your name is Mac.
That's awesome. I love that.
And then when you read the name Master Any Craft, that's kind of fire, man. Make sure Apple don't come after you.
Right.
just trying to help you out.
Because I'm telling you.
Listen, sorry. Listen, I shouldn't have said that. But he's right. He's right. Like Purdy, he did that, yo. Like, that's what we watched. We watched the quarterback put the team on his back.
Yep.
Because, Peachy, all week long, they kept saying that Brock Purdy can't win them a game.
Yep.
If they load the box and take away the run, Brock Purdy can't. Brock Purdy ain't Jimmy G.
Yep. I've been listening to that all week. It's crazy.
He not Jimmy G.
Right.
And they had 8 people in the box consistently.
Yes.
Like every replay. I'm like, dang. Do they come out of their base? Do they switch it up a little bit? Nope. Not a one play. 8 in the box. It was 5 linemen, 3 linebackers, and them DBs that we started to take advantage of a little bit later in the game. Go ahead, Mose.
Eddie G, my dog, and the place to be. Appreciate the contribution. He says, keep my QB's name out your mouth in his Will Smith voice. Super Bowl 58 bound, baby.
What he really said was, keep my QB's name out your mouth. Mouth. That was the... Yo, they not. And that's the thing. I want everybody to understand. Listen to what we're saying to you on tonight. They are not going to give Brock Purdy credit.
Nope.
They are not even probably going to give the 49ers credit. What they're going to say is Dan Campbell should not have went for it on those 4th downs. So I want people to be aware that that's what the narrative is going to be. And this game, and the reason why the Lions lost, not the San Francisco 49ers winning, the reason why the Lions lost is because Dan Campbell gambled on those 4th downs. And instead of kicking those field goals, when you look at the score, instead of kicking those field goals, boom, the Niners get the momentum, they get the shift, they get the ball back. So I just want y'all to just be aware of what's going on. We'll keep it rotating. Miss Debbie,
Hold
Miss
on.
Debbie,
Real
what
quick,
I miss?
before you get to Miss Debbie, shout out to Miss Debbie. But that's why I got respect for Greg Olson, who was
Yes.
commentating the game.
Okay.
Because during the game, he said, you can't judge Campbell on the outcome of those plays because he was consistent in what he's done
Going for
all
it on
year.
fourth down. Yep.
All year. They tried to kill him, or they definitely killed the refs in that Cowboys game when he went for 2, had the right call. The offensive lineman reported, and they still called, illegal formation or whatever they called, when the lineman clearly, you see him reporting to the side judge. So this is who Dan Campbell is. He's confident in his team. He's confident in his offensive coordinator. He's confident in his play calling. Now, today, those plays did not work in his favor. But for, like you said, for the pundits we already know that they're going to blame it on that.
Mm-hmm.
They're not being true to who Dan Campbell was all year.
There it is. I'm just saying, just be ready, because that's what you're going to hear. I know when I walk into the gym, 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to see the TV, and it's going to be, did Dan Campbell blow it for the... Come on. Come on. How about the Niners came back, they took the beating, and they came back and won the boxing match? Because remember, we talk about football as related to 12 rounds of boxing all the time. And it looked like the Lions were going to try to use the haymaker early. But when you use those haymakers, you kind of run out of energy. You kind of run out of gas. And so the Niners sustained it. It hurt, but they sustained it. Yeah. And then they figured out a way how to counter it. And then they started to take the strongs and the jabs and the little bitty things. And then they go for their haymaker. And it wasn't enough for the Lions to come back or recover from. So that's what you watch. You watch a 12-round boxing match. It was intense, like Peachy stated earlier. Miss Debbie, let me tell y'all, I haven't prayed this hard at a game in a long time. I know she didn't watch none of the fourth quarter. I know she didn't watch it. She was probably like this the whole fourth quarter. But praise the Lord, our 49ers got the win, and the team is going to the Super Bowl. Miss Debbie, thank you so much for the super chat. Yes, we are, Miss Deb, and you were right there. That beautiful sunset, that was dope. I need you to stop making the pictures private so I could save that photo. That photo was dope. Go ahead. Who's it on? Mose? Peachy? Who is ever? I don't know. Rotating.
Michael Pickle, appreciate the donation. Let's go. See y'all in Vegas.
Vegas, here we come. Vegas, here we come. Now, for me, when I get out to Vegas, it's gonna be all business. I probably won't even eat the 3 days I'm out there because I'm going to be focused on I'm not even playing any game. I don't even know why I'm going to do this to myself, but I just want the Niners to win by any means necessary. I promise I'm going to cry if they win the Super Bowl. Guaranteed there's going to be tears coming out my eyes. With the Roscoe snot coming out my nose, I guarantee you I'm going to be doing that 100%. But thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. And we'll keep these super chats going. You got this one, Peachy.
Terradome. Tell Keyshawn Johnson, don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years. Facts, Terradome. Facts. Hey, so I have a list. I told Breezy about it. I have a list of the media members that I'm attacking one by one. I started out with Colin Cowherd. He got it first. Where Colin was wrong.
You cursed out Skip Bayless on the
I was mad
she about to get banned on Twitter, on X. I was like, dang, you called him a motherfucking, you called him something. I
was just like, man.
I was like, unfollow.
It was just really bad because Skip, man, it really rubbed me the wrong way. I got so mad at him. But, and I know he's just being Skip or whatever, but it was just bad timing for him to do that. And I was just like, I just couldn't hold it in because it was just a bad time of what we were going through during the game. And Skip just happened to be the one that just got it because
Sorry, Skip. You tried, Skip, but unfortunately, Skip, you were wrong again, Skip.
No,
and
I got
that's-
it right here. What I said was, because I have no problem. I said, STFU. Y'all know what that means. You decrepit bastard. You gotta latch on to another team since your whack ass team can't even get this far.
How you know he fatherless?
The reason why that I know he's fatherless is because I pay attention to Skip Bayless. He don't have nothing to do with his family because he had a rough life with his father. So I knew exactly what I was saying when I said it, because I knew that, like, when I said it, I knew exactly what it meant, because he has so many things, horrible things that he said about my Niners this week and then even during the game. And I was just like, I just couldn't. It was just bad time. I just couldn't do it. So,
see, when
I let him have it.
When the Niners are losing, people need to stay away from the faithful. Like, you got to be careful, because there's no whole bar. They're going to say exactly how they feel at that moment. So, it ain't even a stray. That's what she called him, and that's what it is. That was definitely cold-blooded. That was tough. Listen, I ain't mad at you. I just hope you don't get blocked. But at the end of the day, yeah, like they just need to shut up. Like, literally. And it's not, you don't have to say good things, just say the real things. Don't sit there and say shit that don't make, like, the stuff that they're saying doesn't make any sense. It lets me know, or lets Mose know, or lets Peachy know that y'all don't even watch the 49er football. There's no excuse now. I get it, throughout the regular season, you don't watch it. You have no choice but to watch it now.
Right.
There's only 2 games on today.
You dig? Yeah, that's my point. You have to watch it.
I think out of all of them, though, Colin was aggravating me, but I think Ryan Clark and what he said and the way he said it was probably worse than any other media member that I heard this week. The way that he basically just made Brock look like he's just a piece of crap and whatever, and that he spent all this time trying to, like, all the stuff that he was saying, I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, he fooled them and all this stuff that he was saying. Like, it was just,
but you know what, Peachy,
it was madness.
For me, I was cool with that. I was cool with that. I was upset by the way he started it off by basically saying that they made him talk about Brock Purdy being good and this MVP. They made you do that?
It was just so bad. It was
that's what teed me off, which to me, I didn't even really listen to anything else that he had to say. Like, after that, like, he was just a non-freaking factor, because that lets me know you're not watching football. You're not watching the 49er football. And that's what these guys got to do. They got to watch football. Jax Knox, she says, this win made me emotional because it was gritty and we overcame it. Yes, I was sick as beep at first, but I kept the faith. Let's freaking go to Las Vegas and to the Super Bowl, baby. We needed this win so bad, and our team did it. They absolutely did. They figured it out. They held hands. They sung Kumbaya at halftime. I don't know what they did, but they figured it out. And that's what it came down to, making the adjustment. You know what? We talk about when they go into the half. Thank you for the Super Chat contribution, Jax. There's not a lot of time for them to go over a game plan.
Right.
Because you're literally sitting or meeting with your other coaches. So, like, what do you think went on in that locker room, Mose? Like, what do you think was said? Who said something? Like, who set the tone in that locker room at the half? Because the Niners got the ball on offense, and they still look like when they came back. So I'm just curious to know, like, what do you think went on in that locker room, dog?
It's hard to say. I don't think there was a big rah-rah speech at this point. I don't think that's what the team needed. I feel like the mood was, we know who we are. we're not playing like who we are. Let's find a way to get back to that, no matter what. Like, at all costs, we got to find a way to get back to the football we know how to play. And I think it was one of those things, was understood, don't have to be explained. It was one of them things where everybody was looking around the locker room and looking at each other and seeing, okay, we don't look defeated. We don't look like we've given up or we lost. We know what's up. That's not us. Let's go out and be us. And I think the first half kind of started to spill over into the second half. But then once we got a few things to go our way, and then the mojo started coming back, then that's when you saw us really take off and we started to play like who we know we are.
See, I want to say that I beg to differ because I think from the way that Greenlaw looked going into the locker room at halftime and how mad he was and how mad Fred was, I literally think that there was some stuff that was thrown in that damn locker room and they had to be reminded of who they are. And I think that they went in there and I think that the leaders, I think that they lit that place up. Like, y'all got to be kidding me. Like, we through all this stuff we've been through this year and all this stuff, because it had to be something. Because I mean, Greenlaw was so mad. I thought he was going to hit something on the sideline. He was so mad. So I think that they went in and just, had like just shouted. And I don't think they had any, like a bunch of people were shouting. I think that only took like one or two of them. And they just were like, yeah, when we come out, no, yeah, we can't do this. We can't do this at all.
Well,
it's not us.
Kyle Shanahan was the one that gave the speech. And so, no, his speech was just simple. Part of his speech was simple. This is per Niner Nation. He said, we're not going out like this. And so, the 49ers just didn't look like a team. They were misfiring on all cylinders, except for Jake Moody was getting touchbacks. Like, that was crazy. I was like, damn, maybe that's the issue. He getting touchback, he missing field goals. Like, can't have it all. Which one do you want? Them to return the ball or him to kick the field goal? No, I'm just playing. But no, seriously, like it's weird because they just didn't look in sync. And
yeah.
I don't want to say that they look slow, but they were like not even trying to tackle. Like, right? I watched the running backs run right by defenders and they were just like, okay. Like, they weren't even trying to make the tackle. So I was just like, I don't know what it was, but it just looked like the defense didn't want to show up. The offense couldn't get into a rhythm, and halftime, maybe they just needed to hit the reset button, like how y'all be telling me to do in Madden, and take whatever they thought they were going to do at the beginning away, reset it, and then come back. Because the only thing the Niners needed was a turnover or the ball to go in their favor or a stop. They needed a defensive fair. Fear in our chat was saying, yo, are we going to get a stop? I'm like, yo, we're going to get a stop. Like, it's evident we're going to get a stop. We had one in the first half, had several in the second half. We're going to get a stop. That was what changed it. And then after the stop, we scored. And then after that, we freaking got the ball back because Deshaun Gibson stripped, was it Montgomery or Gibbs? I can't remember which one it was. Gibbs. He strips him, and they force a fumble, and the Niners are back. And so, like, that's all it took to shift momentum. And the Niners all season were doing what? Taking away the ball, finding ways to get the ball back. And so we knew it was going to happen. We just didn't know when or where or what time or at the game. Was it going to be too late? So, Kyle Shanahan says, we're not going out like this. I'm not sure if any other player said anything. Maybe Dre Greenlaw didn't have to say anything, Peachy, just because of the way he slammed his helmet. Maybe they knew he was frustrated. Maybe nobody said anything. Yeah, and maybe they just were in the half trying to figure out like who they were. Like, if I was a head coach, I would have had a bunch of mirrors, and I wouldn't have said anything, and everybody would have been looking in the mirror And that's what that would have been my message. And then I would have said what Kyle said. We're not going out like a bunch of people.
Right. So Press for Six has like a great one right here though. Is anybody gonna give thanks to the ladybug? Did you guys hear about the ladybug that landed on Ayuk?
No. I didn't hear about the ladybug that landed.
Yeah, post-game press conference, he was talking to Aaron Andrews, and she asked him about that catch, and he said, "All I'm gonna say is, before the game, a ladybug landed on my shoe."
Yep.
He was like, "So that's all I'm gonna say about that." And then Aaron Andrews was like, "You need to take that ladybug to the Super Bowl."
Yeah.
Does he still have the ladybug? Shoot,
I don't know. I hope he does. I hope he does.
You better draw one on that shoe. Let's talk about those 2 catches, because there were 2 catches in this game, maybe 3 catches in this game now. We talked about it earlier that I thought were phenomenal catches. And it started with the Jawan Jennings, one hand, third down.
Let me take that one.
I'm giving it to you, bro. You didn't have to. You ain't gotta ask. It was going to be forced. I was going to force it onto you. Oh, yes, y'all. All right.
Let me take that one.
So go ahead and take that third and Jawan.
With that catch, I don't care how many passes this man drops in training camp or preseason anymore. Jawan Jennings, my brother, I apologize. You've earned my respect. I don't care how short of a play that was. That was one of the biggest plays of the game.
Hands down.
Had it not been for BA's catch, that might have been the biggest play of the game. Mm-hmm. Just him finding a way to get open, him seeing that his quarterback is scrambling, him seeing that the ball is coming, going up with one hand, coming down, having the concentration to bring it in, get it secured, make sure that it didn't, pop out once he hit the ground. I think in total that was a 4-yard play, a 4-yard reception on that.
4-yard reception.
But what an outstanding way to let your quarterback know, bro, whatever happens in this game, I got you. Whatever happens in this game, look for me. Look for Debo. Look for BA. We got you. We know this not going to be easy. We didn't come this far and do everything that we did for this just to be easy. We got to work for it. But you don't have to worry. We got you. That was one of the biggest, bro, we got your back plays.
Yes.
Like that, who got my back? I got your back. That was one of the biggest I got your back plays that I've seen in a little while. So shout out to Jawan Jennings for always being available, for always being clutch in those type of moments. Yeah. Huge play.
Got a little nervous because he did leave the game with a head injury. He had to go get evaluated for the concussion, but he comes back. And, he still plays in the game. Peachy, the other 2 catches, one we talked about at the beginning of the show. But let's talk about this BA catch. I'll let you have that one if you want. That BA catch was something I've just felt like he was more on the defense on that particular play, which would have been the second play that he was actually on the defense.
Yes.
Because Brock Purdy kind of overthrew him a couple of times in this game. I thought I saw 3 to 4 overthrows from Brock Purdy in this particular game or whatnot. 2 of them was to BA, 1 was to Jawan Jennings.
Speaking of that, the one that was right after the Jennings one-hander that he got, I'll be damn it, Brock didn't try to throw it up the same way. And I thought it was going to get picked off on the side. I just closed my eyes because I just knew that was just going to end bad.
Yeah.
I was just no, this is not happening, but it didn't, so that's good. Ayuk, man, that catch was crazy. Ladybug or not, Ladybug, that was something for the ages. That's what that was right there.
It's like something you don't practice, right?
Right. You can't. It's just one of those things where Ayuk just is
awareness.
Such a great reactor or whatever, and he's always in the moment. He knows, he's always right there. He knows, when whenever something doesn't quite go like it's supposed to, and he's able to rescue it. It's so amazing. That was so great. That was like a 51-yarder, wasn't it? That he threw down there.
That was the biggest play of the game. Yep. We needed an explosive play, right? Like we needed that was literally like a Hail Mary.
Yes, it was.
Like literally,
he just threw it up and it went down there. But the fact that like I said, he's just such a great reactor. Like he's always in the moment. Like he always knows, like whether he catches it or doesn't or whatever, he's always gonna be like right there, and he's gonna try his best to make a play, which is why he's about to get paid, which they're actually gonna continue the contract discussions very soon with IU, because he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, for the Niners, they got the 5th-year option. So at the end of the day, they don't gotta get nothing done at any time. But they are interested in making sure that he comes back. So we'll see how that pans out, like in the near future. Shout out to Brandon Ayuk, because on a few plays later, he catches the touchdown. He gets that little 6-yard touchdown on a 3rd down. So like Brandon Ayuk. And it's funny because I just felt like they were forcing. When you talked about forcing, I felt like we were forcing the ball to Brandon Ayuk a little too much. And that's why I said, like, I thought Brock was still forcing. I mean, Ayuk had the most targets, on the team for the 49ers. I think he had 8. He had 8. So he had one less than Debo. Yeah. But he was 3 for 8. So like it was just like Brock, to me, was trying to get him that rock. And I'm like, nah, Brock, it got to happen in the rhythm. And so on the interception, I thought that even on the interception, I thought that was a forced pass, even though it got tipped. And I know it got tipped. People think I don't see people. People think I ain't see the ball get tipped at the line of scrimmage. It was, Debo Samuel wasn't catching that pass. The defender, hopefully Debo would have got a flag, but the defender was right on him. And if that ball didn't get tipped, hopefully it would have been a PI call or something because of that. But because the ball was tipped, they wasn't going to call the pass interference call. So hopefully you were hoping the ball just got knocked down, or if no one caught it, but it went to their linebacker, unfortunately. But I thought he was forcing it to Debo because Debo wasn't even wide open, and Debo didn't even have his guy beat. Like, the dude was literally on him like a blanket. So to me, that was another forced moment. But it wasn't many like we saw in the Green Bay game. I thought the Green Bay game, he was forcing it all day. Wasn't hitting his check downs, all that type of, until that last drive where he went 6 for 7, right? And so Brock Purdy much better in this game.
Absolutely.
Much better in this game. And he looked it, man. He played the part. Sean with a super chat contribution says, "What's up, Breezy? Sing hallelujah for my brother John. Hallelujah." Is that one? Hallelujah. 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 I ain't going to the next part. I said I wasn't going to do it, and I did anyway. We going to the Super Bowl. The best game ever. What a game. This was the season. Thanks for sharing it with me. What an amazing season, Sean. What's up, Kanan? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And Sean, thank you for sharing the season with me as well, you and Kanan. This has just been an electric season for the San Francisco 49ers. And you know what? It ain't even over. You know what I'm saying? We got one game left, y'all. We got one game left. Here's what I'm telling you. Here's the kicker for me still. If they go down by the Kansas City Chiefs, by how many points did we go down in this game? 17. We were down by 17 points.
24 to 7.5.
Yeah.
I forgot how to count and subtract. If we go down by anything less than 17, we're going to win the game. Like, and I don't want that to happen. I just feel like the Niners will go in the locker room.
Yeah, I feel like that too, that this adversity that we've had to go through. That's it. Because we're not used to going through this. That's why I'm saying, like, it's crazy because we're not used to being in this position. I know Brock got hurt and that, like, took us, like that we lost the Philly game. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the majority of the time when the 49ers are in the playoffs, we're dominant. So to have this happen, that's why it was such a huge deal when we came back against the Packers, because it's something that we have not that Kyle's never done.
Yeah.
So the fact that we were able to come back, so then you have another game where you face another type of adversity where you're even down more than that, and you're able to come back and things like that. Like you're saying, Breezy, like if we get down or whatever in the Super Bowl, we're still gonna believe that we're gonna come back because they're gonna go back to this adversity that they faced and everything, and know that it's definitely possible. There in no way possible are they going to give up at any time in the Super Bowl. And that's great. I actually thought about a song and started crying. So I had to like redo myself or whatever before the show. We fall down, but we get up. And that's exactly like how I felt about it. Because like people tried to like knock the 49ers down. They try hard and we just get right back up and keep going. And the way that we performed in that second half is one, like I said, is one for the ages. Like, how in the world do you just play so awful in one half and then completely flip the script in the second half and be so dominant in the second half? And if our defense wasn't playing soft at the very end, the deficit of like what we won by would have been worse because they wouldn't have got that touchdown. But we were just played so soft and more like prevent at the very end of that. And that's how the Lions were able to get that last touchdown was because it started looking like it did in the first half. And that's how they were able to do that. But wow, what a comeback. It was great. Definitely looking forward to this Super Bowl. I believe it's also going to be one for the ages. One, it's revenge. And I think that just brings on a whole new mentality by itself. Kittle made me cry because during the presentation, he was talking about, how they had reminded him of what he said about, that he was, about to get back there. And just made me just start bawling my eyes out. But but that's definitely what came to me is that song by Donnie McClurkin, "We Fall Down but We Get Up," because
you mentioned
that's the spirit.
Kittle talking about getting back there. This is Kittle, Bosa, Debo, Armstead, like these guys are. Is this Trent Williams' first Super Bowl?
Yep.
This is Christian McCaffrey's first Super Bowl.
Chase Young's first Super Bowl. There's quite a few of them that are on there. Also watching Bosa, who you never really see, like the last time I saw Bosa like that emotional was when we lost, the Super Bowl. I don't even remember like seeing him last year, like what he looked like, but he just was grabbing guys, just holding on to guys, like those defensive guys. Like he was just holding on to them so hard and, tearing up and everything. And I was just like, this is just so amazing that we're back here again. And we got to finish this. I think that these guys are so determined. I think that this adversity that we faced towards the end of the season, even going back to like the Baltimore game, just, after that game and then just going on past that, I really feel like that is going to push us over. And that's how we're going to take 6 is them thinking about this. And if we get down in this game, they're going to pull themselves together and they're going to play all 60 minutes. They're going to be ready to go. I really believe that.
Faithful Quest says the 49ers tied the record with the biggest comeback in a championship game. I think they tied it with themselves, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what they said up there. I'll check that out. But no, like the comeback was real. Mm-hmm. The comeback was something significant, and it's going to. It's if they don't talk about it, we're going to talk about it.
Right.
Okay, so like if you don't hear it in the national media, you're gonna hear it right here because the comeback was something serious, and they got knocked down like Peachy said, like they got knocked down multiple times. They couldn't figure it out early in the game, and I kept saying they just needed a minute to adjust. And I know we want the team to adjust like right on the fly. And sometimes it just doesn't pan out in that particular way. Like it doesn't pan out adjusting on the fly. And you know, when you look at the San Francisco 49ers and we talk about Steve Wilks and his defense, you know, Steve Wilks came in here and, you know, he inherited a really good defense, but he changed some things up. And no one's talking about the curveball that Steve Wilks had to deal with all season long. So, yeah, we drafted Jair Brown, but this ain't the year for Jair Brown. I think you know that. You know that. I know that.
Yeah.
I want him. It's not his year. And it's unfortunate he has to go out there because I watched Jair Brown. Listen, I want to slap him in the head.
Oof.
Like, you pursue that angle and you force him to cut back inside where your guys are going to be there to make the tackle. He stopped.
Oof.
And Gibbs hit another gear.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, these are the mistakes from rookies. Like, this is why Kyle doesn't want to play his rookies, but sometimes he has no choice. But this is why he doesn't want to play them. And not to take a shot at Jair Brown, but that was one of his biggest mistakes. I think he led the team in tackles. He was all over second with 10 tackles, I think, under Fred Warner. But he was all over the field. But my point is, like, this was supposed to be Talanoa Hufanga's year with Steve Wilks.
Yes.
That was the main reason. That was the main reason for the hire. Really to get Hufanga as an all-pro to like supplant that status as an all-pro. And he was struggling at the beginning of the year because he was trying to learn the difference of the scheme that Steve Wilks wanted him to play in, and unfortunately he ended up with the season-ending injury, and it's unfortunate he won't be able to play up in this particular Super Bowl. But it would probably look a little different if Hufanga was out there playing safety. All these missed tackles we're seeing,
Bruh.
yeah. Because we can't explain it, right? Fair, like you can't explain the missed tackles. Like they're just not. They're literally missing. Though that's the scary part.
And it's every single game, dog. It's like, dude, like y'all be lining these dudes up too, and it just it's too much arm reaching instead of just getting contact and bringing the guy down. Everybody's trying to reach instead of just making contact, man. That's the basics of tackling. You're not just gonna be able to pull down ball carriers like the ones on the line.
Not the strong ones.
Not hitting them. No, you got to hit them. Hit and wrap. The first part of that is hit.
Can I ask you a question? Because you're a coach. So.
Allegedly.
Do you think. Now, see, this isn't all on Steve Wilks. And that's why I'd be like, y'all got to chill. Do you think the wide 9 is an issue at this point? Because no one else does it, and everybody else seems to make tackles, but we're so split out because we got the speed of these linebackers, and I just feel like, what if they were just closer in niche? Do you think the Y9 might be just old now? Like
I would probably give you that if they were the ones that were missing the tackles, dog. It's our secondary that keeps getting burnt and beat down. Like, bro.
But our secondary shouldn't even technically
have to make the tackle if they're
there.
You
go. Like they should be making. They should be the last line of defense.
Right.
If the linebackers aren't even getting there,
they are. So a lot of the times when you watch those runs that are broken, like they bust them open on us, it's the linebacker reading the wrong hole.
Fair got one. Breezy Fair got one.
I came back with a vengeance today, baby.
Fair got one. Whoa.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Yo,
Fair had one.
But seriously,
Wow.
man, it's run gaps, right? They're not hitting the spots that they're supposed to. So when the linebacker isn't filling properly, that's what happens. You're going to have those cutback lanes and those spaces for the running backs to, get up the field on us, unfortunately.
but like Tony said, if they're gambling,
That's a fact. That's exactly what's happening. I always tell my kids, like, yo, once you know, then you go. If you don't know, you can't trigger. You're not supposed to
Fred
get
Warner
downhill.
gambled on the
no,
first one.
then go. You can't do the one without the other.
Yeah.
Like you said, if you're gambling, you're in a bad situation.
And that was the first big run. Like, so the first run went for 4 yards, and then you get like a 10-yard run from like right up the middle.
Bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Got ugly.
And I would give you also too, maybe some substance behind the wide 9 being the issue. But we've been running that since Koseric's been here. Like the way we're missing tackles this year, we didn't have that issue last year with D'Amico, or the year before that, or the year before that with Solid. Like we didn't have those missed tackling issues still running a similar style defense.
But you do have different players. So every year with those guys, you've had different guys up front, right? To me, that's the issue. And so, like, if Fred Warner and Greenlaw have been the most consistent pieces, and then you've even lost people in your secondary. I know people are glad that Jimmy Ward's gone, and I know. Like I mean, the Niners, I really wish they just would have said F it and paid him the money, like, because, and I know he didn't want to play nickelback, but man, guess where he would be playing right now? Safety.
He would be playing nickel.
Or he'll be playing safety.
After Huff got hurt, he'll be playing
safety. Right.
Yeah.
And so like they could have worked it in to where, because I think when it came to Jimmy Ward, he wanted to be paid as a safety and not as a nickelback, because he'll make more money as a safety. But the Niners were like, nah, we'll pay you as a nickelback. And so like that's kind of like what happened. But dang, man. And I know he's injured, and I know he didn't play much in Houston, and I get it, but that might not have happened here. Like it might not have. But that's a key piece that's missing. Key piece. One great tackler, wasn't afraid of tight ends, wasn't afraid to get up in there and get the tackle. That's what they're missing. And so, like, I'm looking at the safeties and I'm saying to myself, man, like, I can't wait till they are as confident in their tackling ability. Because Jair Brown, he's not a thumper, but he's a good sure tackler, and he's just missing too. He's just missing. They're all missing. And that's an issue. And like Tony said, if they're gambling, which is what our linebackers are doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for Jair, I think he has the instinctual aspect of the game. I think for him as a rookie, one, he doesn't want to make mistakes because he doesn't want to cost his team. You got a team that's getting ready to go to the Super Bowl. Like in your first year in the NFL, you're about to start in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I need either Wilkes or somebody on this defensive staff to have a conversation with him. Like, we understand you got the instincts. You know how to play this game. Same thing I tell my son with basketball. Don't worry about making mistakes. They're going to happen. We seen it the past 2 weeks. Offense and defense, when we make mistakes, there's ebbs and flows. But you're always going to have another opportunity. So don't worry about making mistakes. Just make the play. And I think part of him just being a young player is I think he's still getting acclimated to the speed of the game.
Yep.
See, at Penn State, against some of the teams, you could play at one speed because most of the guys you're playing against, you're faster than, you're better than.
100%.
In the NFL, you can't play at one speed.
No.
Yeah, they always talk about speed kills and all that. But at the NFL, you're going to have to adjust. Sometimes you got to kick it into another gear. Like that play we talked about with Jahmyr Gibbs. He's got to kick it to another gear and make sure he gets to the outside. And like, you and Fair said, force him, if he's going to cut back, I'm going to force you to cut back into the middle where you're going to run into
help.
Greenlaw.
It's help. Or you might run into...
Who come
or
in
Bosa or someone who's
boots.
finally coming back. You know what I mean? Like you want to push him back to where the defense is.
Right. You running into Bosa who coming to clean you up. You running into Fred Warner who coming to clean you up. So I think he's still getting acclimated to the speed of the game. So hopefully we don't have those same issues in the Super Bowl from him. But I think next year, having this experience under his belt,
absolutely,
I think he'll be that much better of a player.
Definitely.
Absolutely, especially when the game slows down for him. You know what I mean? And so he's a very intelligent player. It's just fast right now. Everything's coming at him, and He just has to have that game slow down for him. Jair Brown's gonna be a stud, and that's a Steve Wilkes guy. And so like he's definitely gonna be a stud with his Niners. And then you get Huff back healthy, and this might be the end of the Deshaun Gibson run. So I'm hoping we go out and get this dude a Super Bowl as well. Because he definitely deserves it. And, he does look different out there this year, but it's because he doesn't have the firecracker out there playing with him to where he can just focus solely on the deep or, fill in. He's kind of doing a little bit more and overcompensating. And he had a bad missed tackle in this game.
Dog. Like Ole. That's the Matador defense. He just held.
He did the Logan Ryan that Logan Ryan did on Aaron Jones last week, dog. I was like, wait a minute. But had a bang defensive play, stripped the ball from Jahmyr Gibbs, got the 49ers the ball back. So like, it's like you got to give and you get. Like, you know what I'm saying? You give and you get. But overall, guys, we'll wrap this up. But overall, the Niners, they were the better team. And they've been the better team in the NFL all pretty much all year long. And the best team in the NFL is no longer in the playoffs. And when I say the best team, I'm talking about the team with the best record. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Like the best team with the best record, they're out.
That's
and
right.
so guess who has the best record in the Super Bowl right now, which probably doesn't matter, but it's the Niners.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Which
it's the San Francisco 49ers.
Vegas has the 49ers right now opening at a negative 2.5 point favorite.
They're favorites, 2.5 points. It sucked because it was a 7-point here, and we were up by freaking 10, and I would have won money.
Yep.
The mother truckers.
Yeah. I just needed one more freaking passing touchdown from Brock, and I was in there too.
Dang.
I would have had a $500 come up. Nice.
Mother freaking.
Yeah. That was very annoying. That's why I said, like, on that when they got that last touchdown, I was like, look at the defense playing soft now. Now they're going to score again. Because I knew a lot of people that had money on that game.
Before we get to Daryl's contribution, when Ambry Thomas got injured and Logan Ryan came in, he's way better when he comes in than when he starts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did y'all notice that? Okay. So I thought Ambry was having a pretty decent game. He almost had a pick though.
That was so close. Yeah.
It's the same thing that happened to Mooney Ward. Remember in the Minnesota game?
Yes.
Jordan Addison.
That's right.
And that completely changed that game though. If Mooney would have had that second one, that would have wrapped it up. So it was similar.
Fair, you ain't lying.
This made me nervous today, man. It felt just
No.
like that.
Ambry was going to tackle. I knew Ambry was going to tackle.
It wasn't even that. It was more like, bro, that's all. Now it's game over. They can't do nothing about it.
I totally understand.
That's where it was like, we're up 10. We're about to get the ball back. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Now.
I thought that the worst DB on the football field today was Diamador Lenore.
Yo, Demo had such a good game last week, right? And then this week was just.
I'm not mad. No. I don't want people to think I'm mad.
Nah.
I'm not mad. The motherfucker had the D, Amon-Ra St. Brown in the slot. Like that was tough.
Yep.
That's tough.
And then when Ambry got hurt,
he had to go outside.
He had to get kicked outside against Jamison Williams.
That speed.
Who has
4.3
speed.
Bro.
Yeah, but then what they did was they switched it and put Mooney on Amon-Ra.
They put Mooney. Mooney shadowed.
And after that, it was a wrap.
Because I saw Mooney get in the slot. I was like, yes, finally.
Yeah.
Should have been shadowing the whole game, but
once they went man though, that changed the dynamic of everything.
Well, that was the issue that you and I kept getting mad about in our chat. We were like, okay, how about we just man up, say F it. If we get beat, we get beat.
Exactly.
Right.
But we need to get some pressure.
For sure. Agreed.
Right.
Send some people and go man.
Shout out to Nick Bosa too with the 2 sacks. Like I don't think he got a sack in any playoff game. Like that, and I think like
right.
He was out there balling. Shout out to my man Daryl. Let's pull up Daryl's super chat contribution. He just sent me the video. They out in Hartford celebrating, bro. They getting down out there. He says overall our squad grew up tonight. They did, bro. Especially Brock Purdy. They did, man. And that's what you wanted to see. That's what we were talking about. We were like, yo, like the whole team matured.
Yep.
If you're a 49er fan and you know me, please unfollow me if you ever question Deebo Samuel's grit, toughness, and availability. Don't ever do that. Because I know y'all were pissed off he left that Green Bay game. Please unfollow me. Because he showed up tonight, led the team in receiving yards, and was not trying to go down.
At all.
It's like,
he set the tone on that in that press conference, no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he did.
Absolutely. But don't question another man.
And Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was a non-factor.
Yeah, he did get that penalty. He tried to get a little cheap shot in on Deebo.
Yo, he did,
and got that penalty, little dirt bag.
Little piece of stop, Wayne. Dirt bag.
Yeah.
Dirt bag.
Just piggyback.
No, I had to because I was gonna say something different.
I know.
But I just want y'all to know, like, don't question if a person injured, they injured. Like, you can't question their toughness.
Yeah.
I wouldn't question if Peachy had a headache. I'm not gonna be like, she can't make it because she got a headache and she's soft. She got a headache. I don't know what her headaches are like.
Yeah. Right.
Everybody deals with pain tolerance a little bit different. Be happy he was here today because his 89 yards is part of the reason why that 49ers offense was thriving. Let's talk about Christian McCaffrey, though.
Ooh.
He's got a little shoulder injury right now. Just want to put that out there. He's dealing with a little shoulder bruise. You guys worried about Christian McCaffrey, who
same thing you talked about with Deebo, like his toughness and grit. I think we've seen.
Where'd that come from?
It came from this woman up here at the top of the screen.
Who'd you call decrepit?
Skip. Come on, Skip.
Oh, of course. All right,
Skip.
my bad.
Yeah, but no, I have no worries about CMC. I think the same thing you talk about with Deebo, you can talk about with Christian. I think that there's been every game where we've seen him have to get some type of treatment on the sidelines, whether it be his neck, shoulder, elbow, knee. We've seen him bleeding. We've seen him getting taped up. We've seen him roll his ankle. I think
man's displays.
And the narrative of Christian McCaffrey in the trade for him was that he was injury prone.
Yep.
And he's battled through so many, not major injuries, but he's been getting banged up, bruised up. You know, we talked about earlier in the season, is he being overutilized? Is he getting the ball too much? So now, at this point, he's got 2 weeks to get his body right and get ready for the Chiefs. 2 weeks for one game. I have no worries. About CMC being ready by the time that game kicks off.
20 carries, 90 yards, about 4.5 yards per carry. Hey, you know what it was? It was 14 carries for 38 yards, 2.9 yards, because that's what Greg Olsen, I remember at halftime, was like, they're only averaging 2 yards a carry. You got to throw on this team. And he was right, but you still got to run on this team, too.
You still have to run the ball.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Even if it got to be Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
I was going to say that kudos to Kyle for when he when it looked like that, every time that CMC was running for just a little while, they were stopping it, the whole night of this stuff. And kudos to him for just keeping it going, because he didn't give up on the run. One of Breezy's main 5 keys to victory was that you have to run the ball. Like, you just have to find a way to just continue to run the ball. And because what happens is when you do that, even if it doesn't look like you're getting anywhere, after a while, you're going to wear that defense down, and they're not going to be able to tackle the way that they were tackling. And that's what happened when, we started getting those open spaces and everything like that. So kudos to him for, continuing to just push through until we were able to really, effectively run the football.
Let's play a quick thing before we get up out of here, right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, okay, how mad do you think Christian McCaffrey was that he didn't get the opportunity to rush that touchdown after he got that big 25-yard run down to the goal line? Just curious to know how mad y'all think he was. Because kudos to Elijah Mitchell, got the TD. I didn't even know he had 4 carries in this game. I just thought I saw him that one time, but 4 carries. Got the TD, 7 yards. How mad do you think? Let's go with Fair, Mose, Peachy.
I'm gonna say 1 because he subbed himself out.
Okay, good. Okay, I didn't see that. Okay, same.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna change my answer because GSU agrees with me. So I'm gonna say 10 because I can't be agreeing with GSU ever for anything. So I'm gonna say 10, man. He was pissed off, and if Elijah ever get another touchdown when CMC do all the hard work, CMC just gonna leave the field.
It happened twice this year. That's why I'm asking. Remember the last time it happened in the game? Christian McCaffrey got like the ball down to the 1, and then they took him out.
Yeah, he looked pissed then.
And at that presser, he was pissed. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? At the presser, he was like, I guess you just got to finish the play. Like, because
didn't that break the streak, right?
It broke. I don't know if that was the one.
That was when that broke the
That's
streak.
why
He was pissed because he got the ball like 5-6 times in a row. He was, bro, tapping his head like, yo, I gotta come out,
We're just having fun talk right now. Like, we're happy. Everybody's happy. I think Christian McCaffrey, even though he subbed himself out, I think he might have been tight.
That's why I said I was going to say 5.
Okay.
Because he's still thinking about that last time that you just mentioned.
Ain't no beef. Ain't no beef.
Nah,
Right,
he's
no
happy.
beef.
He's happy for his teammate.
Absolutely.
He's happy that he got the win, and we going to the bowl. But he's a competitor, and he wants to be the one to put the ball in the end zone.
No beef. Peachy, what do you think?
I'm gonna agree with Mose. I'm gonna say a 5. Because you know good and well that was still going through his head, regardless of whether he subbed himself out or not. You know, he was merely thinking, man, I probably should have just. I'm telling you.
Should have finished. He tried.
Yeah.
He tried. I'm gonna go 8, 9, 10. I'm just gonna go 8, 9, and a 10. Christian, I guarantee you, Christian went to the sideline and told Kyle, "You better pass this ball," and then put me back in.
I was trying to tell him because that would have been my Brock Purdy second touchdown and my money. Come on, man. Fake it and throw it to Kittle. Jesus, man. Give me a touchdown.
I think Christian went to the sideline, was like, listen, pass this ball. No, I'm saying because I need to get back in. I want to get this touchdown. I want to get my 3rd touchdown.
Yeah.
And Kyle was like, all right. And Kyle didn't do it. And so, like, look, I think they got something fun going on with the running backs. But
Yes.
I really think Christian McCaffrey is the reason why we don't see Elijah Mitchell and Jordan Mason. I think he says something to Kyle, and it got Kyle a little shook. There's 2 people. There's 3. Listen, Fair. There's 3 people on this team I think got Kyle shook. Can you guess the 3 people I'm talking about?
I mean, apparently one of them is CMC.
Yep, that's 1.
Debo.
That's 2.
And I mean, if it ain't Big Trent, then
it's goddamn Trent Williams, dog. I think them 3 have influence over Kyle Shanahan. I think he just go with what they say.
100%.
Bro, ain't no way I'm going to babysit you and you got influence over me. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. That's just all the way out, dog. Like, ain't no way, bro. I changed your diapers and you going to be telling me what to do in the league?
Listen.
League?
Them dudes are different, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They all difference makers, yo. Like, all different. See, Kyle got mind control over the rest of the team.
Right.
Like, I ain't never seen Kyle put Debo in no doghouse. Trent Williams gets days off.
Straight up.
Every week.
Yeah.
And CMC don't ever want to come out the game. And so I just feel like CMC be saying, yo, listen, you go ahead and not give me what I need. I guarantee you I won't do something. And I'm gonna hurt, or I'm gonna be the reason why your offense starts slow or something. I guarantee you CMC does something to Kyle Shanahan. It changes this thing up. Now, I'm just playing, guys. Let's get to these Super Chat contributions. Christy Marie, she says, so proud of our team. We win in Super Bowl in Vegas. I like that, man. Put the wins up. Jax Knox comes in and says, woo, my blood pressure was high. Then it crashed. I was shaking my leg. Baby, this game had my nerves. But go Niners. Woo! I think everybody that's a 49er, you know what I mean, faithful quit on Twitter. I ain't gonna call them out, but they was quitting. I'm like, dang, like we got like 30 minutes. We got a lot of football left.
And I know I'm tired for a fact because I read that and I flipped some words around and it meant something completely different.
Did I read it wrong?
No, you did great. It was me in my head and Waterbury education.
Because I don't usually understand what.
I read shaking my. Nah, I'm not even gonna go there. It's
okay,
right.
So I'm okay. All right, and then Michael Caldwell says that Mitchell sighting made my day. CMC had to ask for a break, and that's what you guys were just talking about. Lego, faithful Lego. Yeah. Great game, great finish, great comeback.
Yep.
Great show, great season. One more game to go. Super Bowl. If you got, what's one thing you think the Niners need to focus on? And then we'll break down this game. We got a couple of weeks to talk about it against the Kansas City Chiefs. What's one thing you think that they need to focus on to defeat the Kansas City Chiefs? And then we'll get up out of here. We'll go with Peachy and then we'll end with Fair.
My huge pet peeve, and that's tackling. You're definitely gonna have to tackle in this game. Pacheco, the one that's behind Pacheco, I forgot what his name was or whatever, but you're going to have to have more discipline tackling. You just have to.
Yeah, tackling.
Good point.
Great point. Mose.
Kelsey.
That's it.
Taylor Kelsey. That's what I'm more worried about. I can't believe that they're going to the Super Bowl and we're gonna have to look at least over or under 50 cut shots. Like over or under.
Goodness. Yes.
Over.
It'd be over.
I bet you could probably bet on that too.
Yeah, somebody's gonna have that.
That got to be a prop bet. Taylor Swift mentions.
FanDuel, Prize Pick. Somebody gonna have.
Somebody gonna have that.
They literally spent more time talking about the fact that she had a concert in Japan the day before the Super Bowl, and that she was gonna make it back. They were like, "Well, don't worry, but she's gonna make it back." Or are they concentrating on even the Chiefs? And what they did, it was more about her, and then all the cutaways that they showed with her and Travis. They barely showed any of Mahomes, and the rest of the Chiefs, Pacheco, none of them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy.
They be doing the most. Like
I'm telling you,
it's like she throwing the ball to him and not Mahomes. Like every time he make a play, it's like, oh, that was a great pass by Taylor.
She throwing something else at him. I can tell you that right now. She's throwing something else at him because when he scored that touchdown, he threw the heart sign up, and I'm like, come on, man, like, come on, you ain't got a heart to heart up to the booth, dog.
That's Mr. Swift. I'm telling you, he's about to retire, and he's going to live his billionaire life.
Change his last name. I like that. So we got tackling. We got Mr. Swift. Fair.
I'm gonna go with the obvious, man.
Okay.
Get after Patrick Mahomes. Do not let that man sit back there and do what he did to us in that last Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't care. 7-step drop, 10-step drop. Go get that man. Do not let him get comfortable. Make his day miserable, and we will hold up that trophy.
Excellent. It's funny you said that because this I didn't want to play the Chiefs. I had preferred to play the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, and it was because of one person, and it was Patrick Mahomes. And so, he's not easy to defend, but the Niners got to find a way. He's not as dynamic in the pocket. Mm-hmm. He's more dynamic outside the pocket, which means now his players are scrambling. He's just extended the play. He could take off and run. He's going to find somebody wide open, especially if we're playing zone. That's where he thrives in his career. And so, this is going to be tough. Because even in that game, they had him contained. They kept him in the pocket. He wasn't accurate. We were leading by 11.
We were.
And then it was when the play broke down and Jimmy Ward turned around and Emmanuel whatever, and then the catch on, I was just like, come on. The good thing is they don't have a Tyreek Hill. So that's the good thing. So honestly, for me, the 49ers, I would like to see them find a way to just get the ball into their playmakers. I want to see more freaking George Kittle. Like at this point, like I know you want to use him to block, but I think you could tell. I like Justin Reed. I like their safety, but let George Kittle feast. Let him set the tone and open up the middle of the football field. Because this is not a game where I want Brock Purdy scared to throw the ball. I want him to come out and be confident. And I just want to see them do that against this defense, man. They got a good front. They got a good interior pass rush. They got some guys. Nick Bolton is back. But they only put up 17 points on offense.
Yep. That was it.
And you know what they didn't do well? They didn't run the ball. So maybe the Niners will catch a break on defense. Maybe they'll be able to stop a Pacheco, because I definitely don't want to see any of the other running backs. Clyde Edwards there? No, and I don't think what's the running back that came from us?
Jerick McKinnon.
Is he still playing, or is he injured or something? Because I didn't see him.
I haven't seen him in a little minute, but they've been just relying on Pacheco.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire really haven't been getting that many touches.
Nah, but he got a couple of touches today. So
but that's not their normal game plan. It's all Pacheco.
And they drop passes just like
they do.
Reynolds dropped passes.
McKinnon's on IR.
Okay. Oh, he's on IR. Okay, that's why we haven't seen him. So they drop the ball a lot. So this is gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a classic freaking Andy Reid versus Kyle Shanahan. Straight up, which offensive mind's gonna have the better game? And so, a couple of things is different in this game. There's no Tyreek Hill for them, and there's no what's the play caller that they had that was in Washington?
Eric
Bieniemy. Yep, they're gone. So they still do have Andy Reid, and we'll see what's gonna happen. Guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. It's been real. We overreacted. We had fun, but we won, which is most important.
That's right.
And now you guys get to break and get your minds prepared for this Super Bowl. It's going to be lit. It's going to be lit. I do want to end the show talking about Kyle Juszczyk, because it's about goddamn time they got this man involved in the offense. And I know he's like the last of the options, but dang, you see what he can do if you get him the daggone ball. That toe drag swag
that was
catch.
amazing.
With the slide out of the
slide
pocket.
Out.
Look.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Hey, Mose, can you hit us with a he can't do that? Can you hit us just one time? Come on.
He can't do that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Nitty Gritty Niners Talk. Oh, man, I'll be traveling. I'll be out at the Senior Bowl this week, so it's going to be some fun times. And you know what I'm going to be looking at? Offensive linemen. It's time to upgrade.
That's
this
right.
Ain't it.
Sure
I tell you
is.
what, we get these offensive linemen down packed. Brock Purdy going to be the man for years to freaking come. You know what? I'm tired
tight end too.
And, well, we might be getting a new tight ends coach. So Brian Fleury might be the offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots. But I'm going to be looking at these linemen and defensive backs still. Like, it's just what it is. That's kind of like where we need to upgrade. Guys, you guys have been real. You guys have been great, man. To the next time, man. Thanks for watching, man. Peace out.